So yeah, while the world is burning down around us, why not do an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale video? Hey everyone, welcome back. And if you are watching this anywhere close to the time frame where I'm filming it on Wednesday, March 18th of 2020. You know what's going on in the world. I don't need to say it. Apparently, not that I'm monetized, because I'm not, but apparently YouTube is going after videos that mention the name of the thing that's going on, which seems stupid. You would think they would want people to be talking about it. But anyways, you know what's going on. You know that much of the world is essentially on some kind of lockdown, whether that is an official lockdown or unofficial or self-quarantining or government mandated quarantining, who knows? You know, all sorts of stuff is going on. And this is something that I've seen quite a few of the content creators that I like to watch here on YouTube talking about and grappling with. Do you just keep talking about regular things while something like this is going on, while there's a pandemic happening, while, like I said, while it feels like the world is like coming unglued all around us? And the consensus seems to be that while it makes absolutely reasonable sense to at least acknowledge what's going on, we're spending a lot of time inside. I actually was already sort of in a hermetic state anyways. I was out of a job, so I've been at home a lot more than I have normally been in past times in my life. So I was already kind of under an odd little quarantine of sorts, but now there's a lot more people who are at home because they're either working from home or the jobs that they have they can't do anymore, and so they're at home just out of necessity and not working. So people are spending a lot more time at home and they're watching. We need something to do. We need stuff to do. And so I know I've been watching videos to sort of take my mind off of things and to sort of just relax and not think about how the world feels like it's coming unglued. So I was already planning on doing a video about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. For those of you who don't know what that is, if you're not in the US or maybe you're not a beauty person, Ulta is a store that sells cosmetics and skincare and hair care and stuff like that. And they sell both drugstore, so lower end products plus higher end products. And I believe it's twice a year. They do what they call 21 Days of Beauty, and they have specials every single day. They have several products they offer every day, several different products every day at a 50% off discount and additional sale items sort of all throughout. So it's a big deal, and you'll see a lot of people doing videos about these. And I got the circular last week in the mail, and this was of course before things really imploded with everything that was going on, at least as far as my little neck of the woods. And so I was looking through the circular and I thought, you know, I think it would be a good idea for me to talk about, because there's one product in particular that I'm absolutely going to be buying, if I still can, when it comes around, because it's actually not going to be on sale until the very last day of the sale, which is April 4th. So as long as I can still purchase, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I wanted to talk about that because that is part of my regular skincare routine. Then I wanted to talk about a couple other things, but with everything that has now been going on from like late last week up until just now, I'm also going to talk about a couple other things that are impacting me, probably impacting other people, and just, you know, sort of talk about stuff because things are super weird right now. I don't need to say that. If you're watching this, like I said, anytime close to when I'm filming it, you know that things are really weird. And before I go any further, thank you for being here today. My name is Leigh Monet. I put up skincare videos for the most part. I talk a lot about things that are happening to us in our middle-age years. I'm 48 years old, and I have a little bit of knowledge of skincare just from years of experience of reading a lot of stuff about skincare and looking into what is best for my skin. And now that my skin is changing a lot and I'm leaping headlong into middle age, I wanted to talk about some of the issues that we're dealing with, some of the skincare stuff that we are dealing with and that could be helpful. And I had some people in my real life who were asking me for advice, and I thought maybe it would be helpful to put this out there on the interwebs. So that's what I'm doing. The Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. Okay, so this little lovely thing came in the mail last week. And one of the things I saw on the cover of it is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. That is a product that I already use. And when I went flipping through the little circular, I noticed that it was going to be half off. It is one of the beauty steals on April 4th. And so I immediately knew that was something that I was going to go ahead and be purchasing because it is something I already use. It's going to be on sale. Why not? And that is something that my attitude about has changed. So my attitude towards sales stuff has changed a lot in the last couple of years. If you aren't aware of it, I did a declutter series in my makeup last month, something like that. I'll link to that up here and also down below, the playlist for that. I went through my whole makeup collection and decluttered it. And I did that because I have so much makeup from the last several years of buying a lot of makeup, because I was going through kind of a tough time in my life and I wanted to buy makeup. And I started watching beauty people on YouTube and hearing about them talking about products. And so I wanted to buy products, and I bought a lot of products, and I bought way more products than I will ever actually use, and realized that I just had too much. I have then also, there's been this whole declutter thing that's happened, partly as a result of people like Marie Kondo and the KonMari method. And then I also heard about this thing called Swedish death cleaning, which I talked about in my declutter intro video, which is part of that playlist that I've linked already. So this idea of decluttering and getting rid of the excess items, and I knew I had way more makeup than I needed, and so I decluttered it. And this has led me to think about decluttering other areas of my life. And in fact, because we're home and we need stuff to do, not that we didn't already need stuff to do, but I mean, what little we had going on in our lives has now pretty much been canceled. So we needed to fill the time. We've been cleaning, and I just actually went through some of the stuff in my room here that I'm decluttering. I went through my jewelry really quickly, just maybe a couple hours ago, and did a quick little declutter of that, cleaned up where my perfume lives and kind of did a mini declutter there. So I'm trying to cast off more stuff. And you know, when you're going through a situation in the world like we're going through right now, that tends to throw a lot of stuff in life into high relief. You start to think about what's really important. You know, as we see things being cut down to the essentials, people aren't going out, well, there might be some people who are still going out and shopping for fun, but for the most part that's not happening, because a lot of stores are shutting down. A lot of stores are shutting down out of choice or because they're being told to. Restaurants, bars, stuff like that. So regular life is changing a lot, or has changed a lot, at least in the short term. Who knows what's going to happen in the long term? We may have to get used to some sort of new normal. I have a feeling this is not going to, that life is not going to go back to what it was before all of this. I could be wrong about that. I mean, who am I? I know nothing. I'm not an expert of any kind. But, you know, things are changing. Things are in this really, really weird place right now. We're upset, and where our lives have been thrown into chaos, and we're having to sort of rearrange everything in our lives in a way that really helps to highlight what is actually important and what isn't, what is actually necessary and what is just there for fun or just because we can have it there. We live in a world of abundance in, you know, the United States especially. We have a lot of stuff, and we can buy a lot of things just because we can. And that we're at a point right now where people aren't doing that as much because we can't, because stuff isn't open, and you know, people are having to think about how to make do with less, because some people are able to work from home, but some people have jobs that don't allow them to work from home. You know, if you're a server or if you're a retail worker, you very likely may not be earning money right now, because thankfully there are some retail, especially larger retail establishments. I know Sephora is doing this and Bath & Body Works is doing this. They are paying their associates while they are not in the store. Both of those stores have closed down as of earlier this week. They decided to close their stores for I think about 2 weeks. I think that's what each of them decided to do. They are paying their people, but there are a lot of smaller businesses that can't do that. You know, restaurants aren't paying their people. You know, if you're a server, you're not getting that $2.13 an hour, and you're certainly not getting tips. So people are having to think about how to make do with what they have, because we're not sure when things are going to come back to some semblance of normal. So the idea of spending money. So Ulta 21 Days of Beauty is all about spending money. And it often encourages us to buy stuff we don't need necessarily because we want to try it because it's on sale. As an example, yesterday, Tuesday, March 17th, Kate Somerville, their eye cream with retinol was on sale. And I was looking at that because I watched a video about the 21 Days of Beauty from a creator that I really enjoy watching, and I trust her recommendations. And she mentioned that product was going to be on sale. She said it is a good product, but it's expensive. On sale, it was like, I think $42.50. And I looked at that and I thought, okay, So it's $42.50, and I don't mind buying like a face serum that's around that price. I really don't. The Peach and Lily one is $39 regularly. I don't mind paying a slightly higher price for something that I'm going to put all over my face, but the Kate Somerville product was something for just for the eyes, and on sale it was $42.50, which means it was twice as much because it was 50% off. And I thought, would I want to buy that on the regular if I really liked it? Let's say it does actually work. Would I want to use it and have to buy it again at full price? And that's sort of my standard right now is, am I willing to buy this product at full price? If I'm not, then should I even be buying it on sale? Probably not. The Peach and Lily serum, I absolutely would buy that full price if I had to. So far, I've not had to buy it full price because the first time I bought it, Ulta had it on some sort of special, and now it's going to be part of this 21 Days of Beauty. So once again, I will be buying it on sale. But I would absolutely buy it for $39 because I think that's a fair price, and it's actually not just 1 ounce. Most serums are sold in 1 ounce sizes. This is actually 1.35 or something like that. So it's more than an ounce. So I think it's a great price, even at full price. So that is something that I absolutely would pay full price for on the regular if I needed to. But you know, something like a serum or an eye cream that on sale is $42.50, the thought of having to buy that again, and that's what I was thinking about. So I was kind of going through all of this stuff. I was looking at, one of the things that I was kind of looking at were the Skin Iceland, and on this is for March 24th, and if you go to the Ulta website, I'll link to that down below. You can look at all of the deals from the day you look at it on that are part of the 21 Days of Beauty. So on March 24th, they have the Skin Iceland Hydro Cool Firming Eye Gels, and the sale price is going to be $8.75 to $16, which is nice. You know, since I'm middle-aged, I am definitely developing more lines and wrinkles and things like that around my eyes. So anything that addresses plumping, firming, or, you know, line reduction around the eyes, I'm interested in. So that is something that caught my eye. But I looked at the regular price, which is anywhere from $17.50 to $32. And those eye gel packages usually just have a small number in them. It's not like they have, you know, 50 days worth or 6 months worth of eye gels. No, it's a very small amount. So let's say I do like them, and let's say they do a great job, I would have to keep buying them at the higher price. And am I willing to do that? Not really. Not when there are other options that I can look into. So that is something that I am not going to do. And on that same day, the Dermadoctor Kakadu C Serum is on sale for $47.50. And again, okay, it's a serum, but regularly it is $95. I can't see myself spending $95 on a serum, not in my current financial state. I'm not working. I've been out of a job since the end of December when I lost my job. I'm living on my savings. I knew I was going to live on my savings for a certain amount of time. Now it may have to be a longer certain amount of time with the way things have happened. So I have to be thinking about what can I do to help what I'm living on last me longer. So I have to be choosy about what I'm buying. And it's not that I'm not buying anything, because I have been putting money aside over the course of the last couple of years into savings and into special accounts for special things. I just bought a pair of shoes yesterday because Haute Look is offering free shipping on all purchases, which is not normal for them. And they had Converse on sale, and I kind of do need a sort of casual sneaker type everyday shoe. So I went ahead and bought a pair of shoes because I have a fund set aside for stuff like that. So I went ahead and did it. And they were on a really good sale because it's Haute Look. But I have to be conscious of that. And now, especially, I have to be really conscious because I have no idea if there's any kind of job out there for me at this current time, because I was thinking about doing something like retail, you know, something like that. And retail is kind of grinding to a halt, or it has ground to a halt. And so unless I can find something that I can do from home, I'm kind of stuck with where I am right now. So I have to be really conscious of what I'm doing. All right, so yes, I was looking at some of these items and thinking, if I'm not willing to buy these at full price, I probably shouldn't be buying them on sale either, because if I like them, especially if it's a skincare product that I would be buying again, I would have to be really careful about that, because if it's $95 regularly, I mean, yeah, $47.50 is a nice price, but I'm gonna use it up before it goes on sale again, probably. So am I really gonna be spending $95? Probably not. And that goes also for makeup. I don't need any makeup right now. I just did a declutter. I am not tempted at all by any of the makeup products. So those are not even on my radar right now. The only thing that I'm maybe considering is an Ulta concealer, because they have all of their concealers on sale this week, and I think they're $4. And I was watching one of my favorite people here on YouTube, Alice in the Rabbit Hole, and I'll link her channel down below. And she mentioned the concealers, and she really liked one of the concealers. She really likes all of them. And she mentioned one of the concealers, which is a very lightweight concealer, and that's what I'm looking for. Again, I have lots of lines around my eyes. I can't use anything really thick or heavy, and that one sounded like it could be a good option for me. So for $4, and even if it doesn't work out, you know, I only spent $4, so I'm considering that. That's the only makeup item that I'm considering. The only item that I'm absolutely, definitely going to buy is that Peach and Lily serum, which is going to be on sale April 4th, unless the world has ended. And it is $19.50. It's regularly $39. And honestly, it's worth every bit of that $39. So the fact that it's going to be $19.50 is pretty spectacular. I may go ahead and buy two, since I can get two for the price of one, and I am almost done with the bottle that I currently have. I am hoping that it will last until April 4th. Well, hoping it'll last longer because I'm going to buy it online. That's another thing. I'm going to be doing as much online shopping as I can, except for groceries. My mom definitely doesn't like. My mom is very old-fashioned. She's 74 years old, so she wants to go to the grocery store. I'm going to be going to the grocery store from here on out until further notice. She is high risk. She's 74. She has type 1 diabetes. She has health issues, so she's definitely higher risk. I am not, so I will be doing all the grocery shopping, and that's what I'm going to be limiting myself mostly to, is grocery shopping, just the absolute essentials. So I'll be buying this thing very likely online so that I don't have to go in the store, because who knows what's going to be happening on April 4th. You know, right now everything's sort of like on a week-to-week or maybe 2-week basis. I know a lot of schools are doing like 2-week spring breaks basically, to give them time to figure out how things are going to go and decide if they're just going to go to online or some other kind of alternative for the rest of the school year beyond that 2 weeks, but who knows. So as of right now, April 4th, I will be buying at least one bottle of the Peach and Lily serum, and I highly recommend it. I do talk about it in my evening skincare routine video, which I will link up in the eye and also down below, because it is a part of that skincare routine. I really like it. It is fragrance free. It has all sorts of good stuff, including niacinamide. I think it also has some peptides and some other great stuff. It just has a nice light texture. It's not too very heavy or greasy or anything like that. I really enjoy it, and I have very much enjoyed how it has helped my skin look. So like I said, I think it's worth $39. So, and beyond that, I was turning to the page that has some information about the minis. So they have all these different products that are in mini size. And one thing in particular caught my eye, and that was the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. And it almost tempts me to make a video about nostalgic skincare, because I remember when Advanced Night Repair was introduced as just plain old night repair. It wasn't even advanced at that time. It was introduced, I believe, in 1982, if I'm remembering my research correctly. I looked this up to see when it was first introduced, because I remember when it was introduced. It was introduced at a time when we didn't have a lot of serums. You know, skincare was still very much in what you might consider a sort of dark ages at that time. Things have really advanced. So I was looking at that and going, oh, it might be kind of interesting to get a little bottle of that. Almost just for the nostalgia. But I probably won't, because again, have I mentioned that I need to be really careful with money, as many of us do right now? Yeah. Do I really need to be buying something that honestly doesn't even have great reviews, but just because it's nostalgic? Probably not. And there's only one other item that I was looking at, and that is the Hen Skin Real Complexion Hyaluron Skin Essence. It's a hyaluronic acid skin essence. I do like essences. They're part of Korean skincare, and they're kind of a toner type of product. So you can think of them kind of the same way as a toner. Hyaluronic acid is fantastic for the skin because it helps to plump and to illuminate and attract moisture to the skin. So it's really great for those of us who have lines and wrinkles and want to plump up our skin and make it look a little more youthful. So hyaluronic acid is really good for that. And this product is not on sale, but its regular price is $25. And that's not too bad for this particular product. And I think it's somewhere around 3 ounces. So that might be something that I will consider buying as well. I'm not sure. Like I said, right now, I'm really having to be careful, as so very many others are having to be careful and be really conscious about what I'm buying. And I was already more conscious about what I was buying, and now I'm just even more conscious about what I'm going to be buying, because who knows what's going to happen. And that's what I would encourage you to do. If you need a little pep talk right now, don't panic, because panicking doesn't help. You know, we're going to get through this somehow. Like I said, the normal that we have after this is probably going to be very different from the normal we had before, but we're going to get through it. I mean, we're going to figure out a way. We're going to get to the other side of this. The scary thing right now is that we don't know where that other side is, and we don't know what it will look like on that other side. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And so there's a certain amount of fear right now, and I think it's totally okay to feel that way. Like I said, I don't know that I'm living in fear right now, but there's certainly a lot of uncertainty. So I have some concerns. I have some concerns about how things are going to look. I was in a theater show. We did our first week of shows this past weekend, and we were supposed to have one more weekend of shows, and that has been canceled, which makes perfect sense. People are not being encouraged to be in groups, really groups almost of any size. People are really being encouraged to stay inside, to self-quarantine, so that we can stop the spread of this thing, because it spreads so easily. And people can spread it without even knowing that they have it. You can be asymptomatic for, I believe, up to, if I'm remembering the information correctly, 14 to 15 days. That's a long time to not know that you have this thing that you could be spreading to who knows how many people. So things are being canceled. So I just auditioned for some stuff that's going to be going up this summer. And right now I'm not even sure we're going to be doing that. Who knows? Who knows what things are going to look like? Because this could go for longer than just a couple of weeks as far as finding out where the peak is and where it's all going to end up. I figured why not go ahead and talk a little bit about this sale, but encourage you all to just continue to be conscious about what you're buying, which we should be conscious about any time, but especially at times like this. You know, be careful, give thought. Don't buy stuff just because you think it'll make you feel better, because it won't. I mean, it'll temporarily make you feel better maybe, but it's not going to help the situation. You know, if you're looking for something specific and it's something you already use, great. If it's something that's essential, great. But if it's something that you can wait on, you know, there are things that I've been looking at that I probably just need to wait on, because I don't know what things are going to look like in the next few weeks, months, who knows how long. But I hope this was helpful. Like I said, the one thing that I'm really looking to buy is that Peach and Lily skin serum. I enjoy it immensely. So if you have skin like mine, and I have information about my skin below, I'm 48 years old dealing with signs of aging. I have slightly oily skin, and I use a good arsenal of stuff at night, especially including the serum. So if you have skin that's similar to mine, then you might find that an interesting addition to your skincare regime, and it's going to be on sale, which is even better. You know, why not? Especially if you haven't tried it already. You know, it might be nice to try it on sale so that you're not spending full price on it. And that way, if it doesn't really work for your skin, hopefully you're not out a whole lot of money. Just be careful. Just wash your hands, for crying out loud. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Be cautious and understand that it's not just about you. You know, like, I'm self-isolating not because, or self-quarantining, not so much because of myself, but because of other people, because I have contact on a regular basis with somebody who is high risk, and I have contact with other people who have contact with people who are high risk. So it's not just about us. It's about taking care of other people. It's about considering how our actions impact other people. Definitely look for information from reputable sources like the CDC or the World Health Organization. Be careful about where you're getting your information about this whole situation, because there's a lot of misinformation going around out there. So just be cautious, be careful, wash your hands, stay inside if you can, avoid people for at least a while, and shop online. So if you're going to do the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, do it online. And if you enjoyed this video, if this was maybe a nice little relief from what's been going on out there, although I'd ended up talking a good bit about what's going on out there, but if this was at all helpful or useful or anything like that, please feel free to share it. There's a little share button down below, along with a button to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. My goal is to put out skincare videos every week and keep you informed on what I'm using with my skin that I feel has been helpful, or talk about things that I'm considering trying and why I'm considering trying it, or maybe products that I wouldn't try and why I wouldn't try them. So if that sounds good to you, please join us here every week. Thank you so much for joining me, and please stay safe, be careful, and take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.